just turned 50, and if I do say so, I looked a good 10 years younger. I was under 6 foot tall, exercised regularly, and had a good body. I traveled a lot, and I would arrange for hookups in the city I visited on business trips. I decided to advertise for somebody around my age who was looking for a tight ass to fill. I finally received a tempting reply from a guy named Carl. He lived in the city I was soon to visit. Carl was recently divorced and, like me, had experimented earlier in life and was interested in trying it again. He was 47, 6'2", and African American. We exchanged pictures, first G-rated, then X-rated. I was very impressed with the size of his cock and could not wait to meet him. We agreed to meet him for a drink in my hotel bar. Finally, the day arrived. I was as nervous as a high school kid going on his first date. I was the only one in the bar that evening, and I saw a tall, handsome, black man enter. I timidly waited at him, and he walked up to my table. "Tom?" he asked. I nodded, and he sat down and ordered a drink. We chatted for a while about nothing in particular as we finished our drinks. I smiled at him and asked, "Well, shall we?" He agreed. I led the way to my room. Once inside, we began to undress. I could immediately see that his pictures did not lie. His cock was huge. Even half-hard, it was around 7 inches long and thick. As soon as we were naked, I fell to my knees and took a hold of it. I stroked it a few times and it grew to an impressive 9 inches. I began to lick it. I ran my tongue all over around his cockhead, licking his piss silt and massaging it with my lips. Gradually, I worked my mouth down his shaft until his cock hit the back of my throat. At first, I was only able to get halfway down. Slowly, I overcame my gag reflex and took his man meat deep in my throat. I serviced him for a few minutes before he said, "Let's get into bed." I needed no further encouragement. He hugged me and held me close. I've owned the feeling of our cocks pressed against each other's bodies. I ran my hands all over his body, feeling his strong muscles. Like me, Carl exercises a lot. We lay on the bed and began kissing and licking my way down his chest while fondling his enormous cock. Once again, I took his manhood to my mouth and slurped away. I would break off every now and then because neither of us wanted to come right away. While I sucked him, he played with my ass. He would finger fuck me while I sucked him and soon made me feel impatient to feel his cock inside me. I had some lube and condoms. When Carl was putting the condom on, I lubed up my ass. I knelt on the bed and he stood by the side of it and began to push his monster cock into me. It was tight going at first. I had prepared for this by using my wife's dildo when she was not home, but it still hurt. I remember how it felt the first time I was fucked all of those years ago, and how it began to feel after the pain receded. I experienced those feelings all over again. Once Carl had managed to get his whole cock inside me, he let it rest there so I could adjust. He ran his hands over my ass and back. He leaned over and kissed the back of my neck, saying, "Your ass feels so tight. It makes my cock feel so good." The pain began to recede and the feeling of fullness overcame me. Carl began to slowly fuck me. I loved the feeling of his huge, hard cock deep in my ass. I started to move my ass in rhythm to his fucking. He said that I was a good little slut. He soon picked up the pace and I was in heaven, feeling his balls slam against my ass. And Carl pulled his cock out of my ass and told me to lie on my back. He spread my legs and his cock invaded my ass again. My ankles were resting on his shoulders, and he savagely attacked my love hole with his massive man meat. I almost went over the top when he started to fondle my balls, and as he did this, he asked me, "Don't you love this big black cock fucking your man pussy?" I can only moan my occurrence. Before long, he said he was going to come. "Where do you want it?" he demanded. My mouth! Come in my mouth! I was overcome by the absolute necessity to take his juices. I dropped to my knees as he ripped the condom off and my mouth engulfed his cock. I fondled his balls and sucked as hard as I could. My reward soon came in the form of a torrent of hot cum squirting in my eager mouth. I lapped it all up, and after swallowing it all, I licked his cockhead to make sure I didn't waste a drop. Carl told me how good I made him feel, and he began to lie on bed. He took my throbbing erection in his mouth and began to suck. My God, he was good at it. He fondled my balls as he sucked and licked my cock. It did not take long for me to shoot a huge load down his throat. Afterwards, we both laid in bed holding each other close. I knew that I would service his luscious cock anytime, anywhere.